interviewing them now if you can keep people out.
Sure.
Did you grow up on the Isle of Jura?
No, I didn't. I went to the island of Jura. Oh, it's lunch. I went to the island of Jura in originally 1974, and with my wife Christine, I found the job advertised in a paper, and I decided I would like to do something like that. I'd worked in the maltings in my hometown, making from malty barley. So, and then it was the chance for me, you know, to do something very different, very personal it was, and I fell in love with this island very quickly. And poor Christine really, you know, it took a wee while. She was leaving her family. We had a young son at the time, just 1 year old. So
I read today there's 200 residents.
well, actually, there's less than 200.
It's like the size of Napa Valley, 30 miles.
Yeah, be 7 miles broad,
Yeah.
and between 5,000–6,000 head of red deer. So you've got all this open space that you can breathe in and relax in, and of course, you know, I worked here for 25 years.
You must be more popular than the mayor with one distillery.
I think, you know, people just take it for granted. The distillery's been there for 200 years. It's part of the island, and of course the island is very much part of it. For me, it's not just about the whiskey, it's about the people, it's about the island and the reflection that this whiskey comes back to that. You know, when I look in the glass, when I taste it, to me it's all about the island and its people and its heritages, so it's a very important part. Well, for me as a distiller, first of all, the water is very important. The water in Jura is very soft and very gentle water. And then, of course, the distillation, very tall distillate, one of the tallest in the business, lantern-shaped stills. So they give off a very light, fragrant spirit. The whole family connection is all about lightness and that kind of nice, soft notes that come from it. So we do a 10-year-old and a 16, which are of that variety. I call them Highland malts made on an island. Because remember, we're in the Gulf Stream, and the air that's going into the cask and the maturation is again very soft and very gentle, so it's enhancing some of Jura onto its spirit. For me as a distiller, it's, you know, it's all about the passion of making it and trying to, you know, make it that certain way that everybody's going to enjoy it, and then, you know, like everything else in this life, we pass it on to somebody else who's hopefully going to do the same thing again. And you know, because we're only doing it for a short time in its life, maybe it's 25 years, but it's still a relatively short time, and passing on the mantle to somebody else to carry on this wonderful name of Isle of Jura.
And I interviewed Master Whiskey Spike McClure
right.
a couple years back, and he told a story about the superstition around most distilleries. If there's a dent in the still, don't fix it. Is that what the name of the whiskey came from?
No, it didn't. It comes from the people of the island who are very superstitious. These people, you know, who've just been, obviously, over the hundreds of years of scraping a living from this island. You know, anything that they grew, they would be eating, fishing, eating, and then any barley that was left, they were making some spirit from it. But the big name for superstition for us is when you're cutting peats. So you remember that this peat was their life source. All the heating, the lighting, everything depended on this what you dug out of the ground in the summer. So what the big superstition in Jura was that you didn't cut peat until the start of May. So that you could, even if April was a beautiful month, it was bad luck. You were bringing bad luck into the family, into the home as you were burning it. So that's one of the main reasons of Isle of Jura's superstition. You know, the first hand into, you know, the peaty division again, going back to its roots, but also giving it that wonderful name of superstition, because
that people were really waiting for it to get in there and get that peat after a long winter.
Yeah,
probably.
Well, you see, if you didn't get it, and it wasn't dry, you were going cold over the winter, because it had to come out of the ground, it has to dry, and you have to then take it home. So it was a big thing not doing it till May. But I remember all superstitions really have a real basis. And the whole basis about peat is the oil in the peat. And of course in the winter months the oil goes down into the ground further. And then as the sun heats the earth up and heats the peat, the oil starts to rise. So the peat's actually better. It's better burning peat when the sun has been going on it for a while, so that the oil starts to rise in it. So every superstition really has another meaning, and that's one of the meanings from it.
It's sort of science by peasants.
Absolutely. And they do it instinctively. The way that they would farm, or the way that they would live their life, it works, so you do it, and it's instinctive. And I think that's worldwide. It's not just our sort of people, it's people of that creation all around the world that would have done that.
Thank you.
Pleasure.